now, you see, somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful. Dun dun, live life, breathe air. Oh no, that's not. Live life, breathe air. Somehow, no, we're gonna get there and feel so wonderful. Is this right? Whatever. Yep, this is right. This is right. Okay, okay. Enough of singing. Hi, this is Ghost. That was a weird voice. This is Ghost, and I am playing The Sims 4. Well, not really playing it. I'm not. I'm just gonna show you a building I made. Yeah, you remember these awful things. Yeah. Well, now I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you some more things. Yeah. Actually, I'm only gonna show you one thing. I'm not gonna show you this thing or that thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna show you that. Hopefully, you guys can see my cursor this time, because that was something that wasn't. I don't know if I did. Oh well, whatever. And let's just go to Grandma's house, because that's where we're gonna go. That's the building I'm gonna show you today. Why am I gonna show you Grandma's house? What does Grandma's house have to do with anything? It has to do with a lot of things, actually. This building that I made called Grandma's house, is based off of the Grandma's house in the game I made, the first game I made. You know, the cruddy one. The one that I hold so near and dear to my heart, and so many don't hold near and dear to their hearts. There's a section in the game, a level, sorta, called Grandma's house. Can I show a clip on that? Yeah, future me. Edit that in. Edit a little clip of Grandma's house in here. Yeah, that place. That's what I'm gonna be showing you today. Let's get in. Let's get in already. Let's skip this loading screen. Screw loading screen. Screw things. This is dark. There we go. Afternoon. It's a nice afternoon, and you see this house, and you're wondering what the frick is up with this house. It's very unique. Okay, before we get into the house, I just want I just want to point out this thing here. Yeah, The Sims 4 doesn't have cars, nor does it have garages, nor does it have driveways, because The Sims 4 sucks. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Okay, I hate The Sims 4. The only thing I like about The Sims 4 is how easy it is to build, and also creating your character is pretty fun. But in what Sims game In what Sims game is it not fun to create your own character? The Sims 4 sucks in terms of everything else. Because it doesn't have cars! That's why it sucks. It sucks because it doesn't have cars. Why do you need cars? Why did The Sims 2 need cars? Explain that, but it was better because it had cars. You wanna know why it needs cars. It needs cars because houses have garages. Okay, that's just a thing that exists. Houses have garages. If I want to make my real house in this simulation of a game with my real simulation sim, I gotta make myself have a garage. Unless you want me to move into my old apartment, but even that had a garage for my car. So it's just not realistic. People have cars. Need cars. That's enough of my rant. There's a lot more I could rant on, and I'm gonna rant on when I get to it, because this house was a mess. It was a huge mess to make, but whatever. Anyway, not sure how much I cut out of that rant, but this garage. These doors are garage. This is the garage, okay? This is the garage. Imagine that's a garage, okay? I'm sorry, but that's the best you can do in The Sims 2. In The Sims 4, Sims 2. Wow, this is the best you can do in The Sims 4 at making a garage. That's the best with what I have. I don't know if there's a pack that, I don't know, has a better garage-looking door, but that is the most garage-looking door I could find. So that's it. Why are there 3 and not 2? Because the garage was huge. It was a huge garage door. It could fit 2 cars going into it at once. It was a huge garage door, a single garage door. It wasn't a double garage door. It was a single garage door, and it could fit 2 cars in the driveway and through the driveway and into the garage. So 2 cars could technically drive in and out of it at the same time. Not that that ever happened, but if you wanted it to happen, you could have made it happen. But anyway, this is the front of the building. This was not in the game. This was not in How Happy Are You. That was the game's title. I forgot to mention what game I'm even talking about. My first game. Well, I mean, it's the only game I've made currently. I'm working on a second. I don't even know if that will ever be completed now, because I'm too sad to make it. But who knows? Maybe I'll make a third and just skip over the second. Front of the house, in case you wanted to know. There's a big, there's a big, uh, brick wall in front of the door. It's not huge. Like I don't know what's with this roof. I don't think there was a roof, but my mom said there was a roof, so I put it there. I don't think there was a roof, but whatever. I also think that this was a bit shorter, but who knows? I guess I'm wrong. My memory's a bit fuzzy on those things. But there was a gray wall. All right, it looked like this. There were flowers in the front of the yard. They were not this pretty, but there were flowers in the front of that wall. And yeah, and windows only there and there. That's about the same. The whole house was square. It was a square house. It was not fancy, okay? My grandfather, he built a house for use. He built it to use it rather than for its looks. I mean, this is pretty much the fanciest thing he did outside of the house in the perimeter. I mean, I guess you could count this stuff as fancy, but I wouldn't. Anyway, the sidewalk right there, yeah, that was the sidewalk. And also, this was all pushed far away. So if you could imagine this building being pushed far away, unfortunately, this is the biggest lot that The Sims 4 has currently. And yes, I did need this much space to build just the house, because the house is huge. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my grandparents were super rich. In fact, all of their children were super rich. My mom is the only one who is not super rich. We're poor as dirt. We're the only ones that are poor as dirt. Everybody else is living great lives. Anyway, that mailbox is further away. It's all of this is further away. Like this sidewalk, it led down to the mailbox. Well, it led down and then to the side to the mailbox. Like, you had to walk pretty far to get to the mailbox. But it was still on their property. Anyway, let's get inside. The door was kind of scary and black like that. And it had a weird thing on it, too. Like, you could knock like that. It was like the only door that I ever seen in my life that had a little knocker on it. So that door's pretty accurate. Good job, Sims 4. You did something right, I guess. Anyway, let's get in. Let's put up the walls so that we don't cheat and see things that we don't need to see. This is the entryway. And, yeah, this part right here is the entryway. And as you can see, there is not a cabinet that was in the entryway in the video game. But there's no cabinet there. The cabinet's over here. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time that I was making the game. I mean, I kind of made the entryway, emerge into the dining room, because that's kind of how it is in real life, in the Sims 4 model I'm showing you. Oh, let me turn off the grid. That must have been annoying, I'm sorry. I wish I could turn off this stuff down here, and I'm sure there's a button to do it, or a cheat or whatever, but I don't know it, so I'm sorry. Sorry, you're just gonna have to deal with the UI. There's nothing I can do about it. Well, I mean, there probably is, but I'm too lazy to look it up. This part is the entryway. In the video game, there was the mirror, but you couldn't see it because in RPG Maker, you can't really do that kind of perspective. It's all top down like this, only more top down, so you can't really see the walls on the sides. But there was a little ball here, a glowing light that told you about the mirror that was there. That mirror scared me. I didn't like going into this room when I was a child. I didn't remember much of it. That's why there was only one couch instead of 3. I didn't know there were 3 couches. I knew there were couches. I didn't know how many. I knew there were couches. I knew there was candy, a candy bowl on top of this table here, the coffee table. There was a candy jar. I just remember the candy jar because I came in here only for the candy, and then I left because I hated this room. I hated this room because of the giant mirror. I was scared of mirrors when I was a kid. I don't know why I was scared of mirrors when I was a kid. Maybe I saw too many horror movies, but I was scared of mirrors as a kid, and I never hung out in this room. I hated it. Also, all the walls, you'll notice, are pretty much white. They're either painted or they're paneling. So, yeah, they were very boring people. Anyway, this is the dining room. It's pretty white in here as well. The furniture is white. This thing right here, this thing didn't exist. It was actually, it pretty much looked like this, but it was part of the wall. Like the whole wall was basically this, and there were drawers that you pulled out of the wall. Like it all came from the wall. It wasn't a thing. But whatever. There are also these blinds. They never opened these blinds. It was pretty much always dark. That's why I never thought there were windows in Grandma's house. That's why I didn't put many windows in the house, because I didn't remember windows. I didn't know where windows were because I didn't remember them. And that was mainly because most of them were covered up by huge blinds, and also because I never hung out in this room, and I hated this room. And I didn't really hang out in this room either because there was nothing to do in here. I mean, what? I could sit on the table and doodle, I guess, but I had a desk in the other room for that, and I mean, I didn't really like this room. My grandmother never went into this room. I never ate in this room. The only time I ever went into this room was for like Thanksgiving, I think. I don't even remember, because another important thing you guys gotta know is that I haven't set foot in this house since like middle school. I graduated high school this year. Well, it's gonna be last year, pretty soon. But this year I graduated high school. I'm supposed to be in college, but I'm not. I'm gonna go into college, into online college, hopefully soon. Anyway, so a lot of this I didn't remember. I had to ask my mom, and she didn't remember because she hadn't been into this house since I was in middle school, and also as soon as she moved out, she pretty much never came back. And also the house has been remodeled several times. I don't remember what it looked like when she was a child because I wasn't born yet, so I only knew it from my memories. So she couldn't really help me with some of the stuff. In fact, none of her siblings could. I mean, we only got one of her siblings to even agree to help me on this, but she didn't really help me for long because they were busy doing stuff to the house. And anyway, it was mainly from my own memory. Oh, and this stuff here. There were potted cactuses on top of this half wall. And The Sims 4 doesn't have potted cactuses, so I just grabbed some cactuses, scaled them down, and put them on the wall using cheats. Because The Sims 4 is not fun. This thing right here, there was like a mini bar. It was like really tiny bar. It was more like a mini fridge turned into a bar, but whatever, that counter's close enough. There's also this table that I don't think had any real use. Sometimes people put chairs here, sometimes there were no chairs. So, yeah. This is the main room. You know, the room that was titled Grandma's House. This is the room where you started in. Um, yeah, as you can see, this is the kitchen. There were lots of countertops, and they were green. Green counters, and white cabinets. Yeah, that's what that's called. Black appliances. I don't know why, but my mom and her siblings all thought this kitchen looked ugly. I think it looks cool. I like it. I like the kitchen of their house. And also, they didn't have this fruit thing, but they did have fruit here. But it was more like they had a banana rack and a little bowl. But whatever, this giant bowl will do. It's got bananas on it. All I remember is the nasty bananas. They were always black. And my grandma, every time I came over, she was like, "You gotta eat one." And I'm like, "Oh, grandma, you're blind." Anyway, this is the desk. I used to use this desk all the time. I was never sure why it was there, but I used it a lot. It had a lot of paperwork on it. Sometimes it had a computer on it, I think. But whatever. I used it for writing. I didn't use it for a computer or anything. So Yeah, no, it wasn't a computer. It was a fax machine. Oh my god, I forgot fax machines existed. Yes, they had a fax machine there. And a phone. Okay, whatever. I just used it for writing. That's why I put a journal there, because I used to write and draw at that spot. Because my grandma would be in the kitchen, so I wouldn't be terrified of the house, because the house was always dark. It was pretty much always dark, because there were no windows in this middle room, because again, this room right here does not connect to the outside. It's inside, completely 100% inside, and it's also the main room, living room, kitchen area, so yeah, it was pretty dark. The only lights came from this stuff underneath these cabinets, which it didn't look like this, but this was the closest I could get to it looking like the thing that existed. But whatever, there was also only this lamp, and those were the only two light sources in this room, besides the windows from this room. And this room didn't really have any lamps. I just kind of put one because it was really dark. I think it had one lamp, like that, but I don't think it looked like that. Anyway, this room was pretty much almost always dark, except, you had it connected to the outside. But let's not get into that just yet. There is a fountain right there. This thing right here was actually made of bricks, like the ones outside. It had a family reunion photo on it, and my dad's head was cut out and replaced with a skeleton because he's dead, and it was pretty funny. My family has a very dark sense of humor. I never got to meet my father. But I assume he was not a very nice person if he got his head removed with a skeleton. His head removed with a skeleton. His head replaced with a skeleton. That's what I meant. Anyway, The Sims 4 has a problem where you can't make a fountain inside. Look. Look. Can't place fountain under anything. Like, F you, Sims 4. F you. If I want to place a fountain here, just let me freaking place a fountain here. What? What am I placing? You know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I guess I'm placing a fountain inside the pool. Because you can have an indoor pool. You can have an indoor pool, but you can't have an indoor fountain. Yeah, that makes sense, right? No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any freaking sense. Sims 4, you don't make any freaking sense. Anyway, that's enough of my rant about Sims 4. This is the living room area, where the clock was. It didn't look like that. It was a digital clock. It was a digital clock, but this game and also my game do not have digital clocks in them. I mean, I could have drawn my own digital clock, but I mean, have you seen my drawing skills? That they are not the best. I would never have been able to match the amount of detail that is already in the base game of RPG Maker. It would have looked like something that was made in MS Paint, which is what everything that I make looks like, because all I have is MS Paint. And also Paint.net. Those are the only two things I have. And I mean, I guess I could have made something slightly good with Paint.net, but I don't got time for that. I made it in 3 days. I made it in 3 days. I didn't have time to make a digital clock. Yeah, the living room in the game pretty much looks nothing like the living room in real life, except for the hallway, the fountain, and I guess the fireplace could represent the TV, but that's really about it. And I mean, I guess I did have chairs in front of the TV, but they looked more like stools. Yeah, whatever. There's my kid table. It had animals on it. I still have it. It's in my room. The desk and the chair. Chair was a Mega Bloks chair. It had Mega Bloks in it at one point, I guess, but I didn't ever play with Mega Bloks. Well, that's a lie. I did have Mega Bloks, but they were not in that chair. I had like a giant tub of Mega Bloks. I never had Legos. My friend had Legos. I had Mega Bloks and these other things. I think they're called. What are they called? I think it starts with a K. Kinetics? No. Wait. Maybe. Yeah, it had like little balls and sticks. But it wasn't that. That's not what I'm thinking of. It was the thing that came in a gas can looking thing. What was that toy called? I cannot remember. Oh, it's gonna drive me insane. Guys, they were like little plastic things that you put together, right? You stick them together and you can kind of build like that. It was not magnetic like kinetics are. It was like little plastic stuff, and it came in a... It looked like a gas can, okay? It just looked like a gas can to me. I don't know what it's called, and it's gonna drive me crazy. Please tell me in the comments what the heck am I talking about? I bet nobody knows what I'm talking about. They're like, what are you talking about? You played with things that came in a gas can? What kind of child were you? What kind of poor, horrible childhood did you have? Anyway, there were also doors here, but they were pretty much always open. They were sliding glass doors, which Sims 4 does not have. Sims 4 does not have sliding glass doors. Every door in here was a sliding glass door, and they won't let me have my sliding glass doors. There were no doors there. That was just an archway. There were sliding glass doors here, though. Anyway, let's go into the hallway. This is the hallway. Now, there is a little tiny closet door here, but it was actually on this side of the house, and I forgot all about it until like the last minute. I think it was behind the mirror, actually, like a hidden door behind the mirror, but whatever, I don't know. When my grandmother first opened it, I know that I felt shocked. It was like my mind had been blown, man, because I didn't know there was a door there. I don't know where it was. She just kind of pulled the door out of nowhere, and it shocked me. And I don't remember where it was, but I remember it existed, so that's why I put it in this hallway, because I didn't know where else it was. But whatever, this is the bathroom, which you weren't allowed to go into in the game. But this is what it looked like in case you were wondering what the bathroom looked like. I didn't know what to put in there, so I just left it locked. I was just locked, put bathroom sign on it. It did have a bathroom sign on it. It was a Spanish bathroom sign, which I'm not sure why, because I never knew what it meant. It was like El Baño or something. Baño means bathroom, right? I'm probably wrong. But it had something like that on it. It said bathroom in Spanish. But I don't know. The sign was pretty. They also had a Mi Casa es tu casa sign in the kitchen, which I also found to be really pretty, but also I didn't understand why we had it. I guess because they go to Mexico a lot. Yeah, that must have been it. They must have bought a lot of souvenirs from there. That makes sense. Okay, I solved my own riddle. Also, there was a door that led to the other room, so this person could go into that bathroom. This was the room on the end of the hallway. I don't remember what this room looked like in the game version, but it probably didn't look like this because I don't remember putting windows there. I don't remember putting windows in this room in the game. I didn't remember windows in this room. I didn't remember this room. I still don't. But apparently this is what it looked like according to my mom. Also, this thing right here, that didn't exist. No, it was a giant walk-in closet, but I didn't have room to put that. So, there you go. Also, there was a closet there, which is correct, and there was that thing, which pretty much looks exactly like the thing that they had. Like, exactly. Even the scuff marks look exactly like the thing that they had, which is kind of weird to know. Someone would only stop texting me. Okay, anyway, down this hallway and to the, what is this, the left, I guess? Yeah. To the left is the other bedroom, the more important bedroom, where all the important stuff was that nobody could find for some reason, even though I told them to explore and click on everything. That was basically all you had to do: explore and click on everything. And people couldn't get through this room, through this house. But whatever. This room is pretty accurate. I'm pretty proud of this room. The flowers on the wall were the wallpaper. They were not actual pictures of flowers hanging on the wall. I couldn't find a flower pattern, and I knew it had to have flowers on it because it was a very flowery room. This used to be my room for like a year when I was a baby. So I don't remember. I don't remember it. But, I don't remember staying here, at least. I do remember the room. I remember the room very well because I used to stay at my grandmother's house sometimes whenever my mom had to work super late. So I had to stay in this room. I'm not sure why I couldn't stay in this. You know what? I know why I couldn't stay in this room. Because this room terrified me. That's why I don't remember it. I don't remember why it terrified me. I think it was because it was always dark. I don't remember these windows. I think the blinds completely covered them. And I don't remember that either. But if it was there, that's kind of scary, actually. I don't know. All I know is I found the funny glasses in this room. I found it in this closet that doesn't exist in this model here, but whatever. I put the funny glasses in this room because I like this room better. And I put them inside the jewelry cabinet because why not? Yeah, this cabinet right here, that had a bunch of jewelry in it. This thing right here, had like a Bible and I don't know, random junk in it. And, there's probably more junk in here, but I don't remember. There was also a walk-in closet and some real. These were not the cabinets, but there were giant cabinets that looked like boxes. They were built into the wall. You could open them and easily crawl into them. I always did that, and apparently one of them opened up into a desk, which I didn't know about. Or maybe I did, but I just didn't remember. My mom told me about it, and I was like, what? How did I get inside of the cabinet at the age of 12 when there was a desk right above my head? Whatever. Whatever. I'm not gonna think about that. Maybe it was like folded in so tightly, and I don't know. Maybe I didn't die. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'll never see the house again, so I cannot answer the question. Also, why is this over here? I put these over here. Whatever. If you're wondering what the elephants are, there were two pictures of a tiger, identical, very identical, but there were slight differences, so you could know that they were both hand painted. I don't know why they had two of them, but one of them was different from the other, and now I have both of those tiger paintings because I'm special. No, I'm kidding. It was like the only thing that I inherited besides my child desk, but that was really mine thing. I mean, come on. Anyway, they also had a little tiny TV up there. It was in a cabinet. I used to watch Scooby-Doo there. I miss those days. I miss Scooby-Doo before they ruined it. Like they ruined everything else in my childhood. They've ruined Pokemon, they've ruined SpongeBob, and they've ruined Teen Titans. They've ruined Teen Titans really bad, and they ruined Powerpuff Girls. And I'm so mad at everybody for ruining my childhood. Just leave my childhood alone. Just let it die. Let it die in peace, please. It already had a grave. I would love it if it came back, but if you're gonna bring it back like that, just don't bring it back at all. Also, this is the room that had the bars on the door, and I mean not the door, the window. In case you're wondering, this is not the room that had the bars on the windows. This was the room that had the bars on the windows. I just could not fit them because I had too many flower paintings on the wall in the game. That's why I put the bars and the windows in this room and not the other room. But here in the model, it is correctly represented. There's your bars. It did not look like that, but there's your bars. It did look like that on the inside. And that was because my aunt, when she was a child, she used to crawl out of that window and go off with her friends and run away from home. So, that happened a lot. She was rebellious. All the kids were rebellious. Okay, and finally, the last room here, this is my grandparents' room. It had a blue striped bed and blue striped wall and blue carpet. It was a very blue room. I liked it because it was blue, but I was not always allowed into it because it wasn't my room. It was my grandparents' room, so things were kind of off limits here. But I do remember going into it anyway because I was left to my own a lot, and I could explore a lot. Anyway, there's the TV. As you can see, The Sims 4 wouldn't let me put it on that, so I had to cheat it on there. I don't remember what those are. Kitchen cabinets? I don't know. There were chests, which I could never open because they were always locked for some reason. I always wanted to open them, but I guess nothing was in them. There's a desk there. This hallway was pretty narrow, and this is their closet. It was much bigger than this, but that's as big as I could fit it. And I remember when I was a kid, I was very interested in this room because every time you open the door, and it was a slide door, which, again, Sims 4 doesn't have sliding doors. But it was a sliding door. And every time you opened it, the light would turn on. And every time you closed it, the light would turn off. So I would stand there at the door, just opening and closing it, trying to find out the exact moment when the light turned on and off. And it turns out that you could leave an inch, like maybe half an inch of a crack in the door, and the light would turn off. It would turn off before the door closed. So I figured it out myself. The light turns off before the door closes, which I always thought was interesting when I was a five-year-old. I don't know why. This is the bathroom with no door. I always wondered why it didn't have a door. But I didn't question it. In the game, it has a door that's locked, but that's just because I didn't really want to build a bathroom. Because bathrooms in RPG Maker are very hard to make because they don't have toilets, they don't have bathtubs. You know, it's just not fun. It's just not fun to make a bathroom in RPG Maker unless you know how to make stuff using your own artistic abilities, which I do not have. But anyway, this is what the bathroom looked like, in case you were wondering. It didn't have a door, and I used to hide there when I was playing hide and seek with my cousins who are older than me. How much older are they than me? I don't know, but they're twins and they're pretty much older than me. They're pretty older than me. Pretty. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, here's the room with the toys and stuff. I don't remember what I titled this. I don't think I titled it anything. But it was the room with an earthy smell. And you can notice that it's a bit different. It's a bit different. And that's because of the crud I had to deal with RPG Maker. But anyway, yeah, this is pretty much what it looked like. These chairs, they did not look completely like that. They were shaped like a barrel. So they looked like barrels, but it was a seat. It was pretty cool. And there was also a tree. There was a lot of trees. There were a lot of plants in this room. This room was extremely hot, and it smelled like plants, and I loved it. I loved it because it was the only room that wasn't freezing. Sometimes I hated it in the summer because then it was super hot. Also, there were a lot of toys. There were a lot of toys. My mom's toys, which I took when I was a kid. So there were no toys by the time I was in middle school when I began to stop visiting. Of course, they also tore out the carpet, tore out everything, all the furniture. So, you know, if I had made this house the way I remembered it from the last time I saw it, it would look very depressing and ugly. Kind of like how in the game when you get to near the end and you come back to this place and everything's gone and old and cracked and horrible and ruined. Because that's how I felt when I saw it. The last time. It's very depressing. The whole story is pretty depressing, but I liked it when it looked like this. It was happy. It was a nice home. It was a nice home. I didn't see it for its flaws like my mom and her siblings did. I saw it for its beauty. Anyway, they also had a kitchen here, and this fridge was filled with ice cream and a lot of moldy stuff. But I ate ice cream from there. That's the only part I care about. This door, it was always locked. This door was always locked from this side, but from this side it was always unlocked. I don't know why it was like that. But it was. I don't know why. I guess they didn't want me to go in there, but I mean, there's no door on the other side, so it didn't really prevent me. Okay, whatever. I guess I'll show the outside last. So let's go to the main important room, the piano room. Right, with this door where there were boxes behind it in the game that nobody could find out, which all you had to do was go into this room, get the funny glasses, go into this room, talk to the cabinet, and get the note, and then you could go here because it would say the boxes are gone. Pretend this is a laundry machine and a washing machine. The Sims 4, unlike The Sims 3, does not have a washer and dryer yet. I'm gonna say yet because the washer and dryer did come in an expansion pack for The Sims 3, so maybe it'll come in an expansion pack for The Sims 4, and it'll probably be just as annoying as it was in The Sims 3. I would just like it for decoration. Just give me it as a decorative tool, please. Like maybe give me the option to do laundry, but don't make it a thing like in The Sims 3 where it was like you constantly had clothes on the floor, like constantly clothes on the floor. If you had a family of 4, don't get a washer and dryer, even for decoration. Just don't get it. Yeah, anyway, this is the little pantry area that was also in the game. It was further down, I think, but whatever. Um, in real life, it was not further down. There was also this closet that had a vacuum and a broom in it, which Sims 4 does not have, and it needs to have. Come on, give us more decorations. People have vacuums, people have brooms. I know I'm complaining a lot, but come on. If The Sims 2 could have ceiling fans, we should have vacuums by now. And there's the door to the garage. By the way, these are toy cars because, like I said, The Sims 4 does not have actual cars. So I got a toy car and made it huge, and it looks really ugly and pixelated. Who cares? Who cares? Over here is the bathroom. I used to not think that this had a door to it, but apparently the door is just always open. It was also most likely a sliding door, which is probably why I never saw a door there, because no one ever used it, no one ever closed the door, so it was always open. So I'm guessing it was a sliding door. But there's no sliding doors in The Sims 4. This is the workshop. It was a lot more narrow than this, but there was nothing on this side. I thought there was stuff on this side, but there wasn't. So I was wrong in my depiction of it in the RPG Maker game. But this side did have a ton of junk on it. Like a ton. Yeah. And that had some junk on it too. Over here is the piano room, which used to be a bedroom, but turned into a piano room by the time I went into it. See this light? This light does not represent a light. It represents a ceiling fan, because The Sims 4 does not have ceiling fans, but real life has ceiling fans. So pretend that's a ceiling fan. Also, there was a window, and a closet, and a desk that you could pull out from the wall, and also that thing that you could pull out from the wall, pretty much just like the pink room. Right? Okay, and there were these desks. One had a computer on it, one didn't. There was a bookshelf. There was a piano. The organ. Not a piano, an organ. Specifically an organ. And it looked pretty much like that. Pretty much exactly like that. And just looking at this gives me a lot of nostalgic feelings. Also, this door was painted over because nobody ever could use it. It was sealed off. It was sealed off. I don't know why. It's actually a pretty good idea to have a door there in case, I don't know, you're one of the kids who used to live here in this bedroom and you wanted to go to the pool, so you could just go walk right there. But I don't know, they sealed it off for some reason. But it was still visible on this side. But if you opened it, it's just brick wall. It was a pretty cool door. It was always kept locked though. I only ever saw it open like once or twice. And here's the shed door, which was also a sliding door. And it was not even sliding glass, but whatever. Or maybe it was sliding glass. I don't know. Yeah, you could see inside of it, but I think there was, like, I don't know, blinds or something that could cover it. Anyway, inside is just a bunch of nothing, but there was a lot of junk in here, but there's not much junk in The Sims 4, like pool junk. So, nothing! Okay, now here's my gripe with The Sims 4. As you can see in here, I lowered the foundation, right? And, that was really hard to do, to lower the foundation inside the house and also put a roof on it without everything effing up. But the outside did not have steps. It was flat, and the house flooded a lot because of this. Because it was flat. It didn't have a foundation. If it had a foundation, it wouldn't have flooded, but it flooded a lot because it didn't have a foundation. Whenever it rained, it would flood. But whatever. Sims 4 doesn't like to give you the option to flood your house, so it forced me to put a foundation and steps, even though that this foundation and steps did not exist in real life. So pretend they're not there. There were these glass tables though, and also I guess I put that in. Dang. Okay, there were the glass tables though, and also the pool, of course, and these plants, random plants, and that cat was not a cat; it was a frog. But cat is close enough, I guess. And there was the tree. The tree and all the flowers and stuff underneath it. And there's the pomegranate tree. Where I ate pomegranates for the first time, and they were great, and my mom hated them and I loved them, and she hated me for liking them. And she hated the tree for me liking them, but I liked them. And I'm probably never going to taste a pomegranate ever again, because this was the only place where I got them. Anyway, there are also really sad, pathetic orange trees in here, but Sims 4 doesn't have orange trees. I mean, it might have orange trees, but, you know, they'll be too big and, you know, like an apple tree, it'll look dumb. So I didn't put any oranges in here. I just put, random plants, but there were orange plants in here. I don't know, my grandfather called them tangerine plants. They were the sourest oranges in the world, but I liked them. Everyone else hated them. They were like, Dad, you can't, they said dad because it was their dad, not my dad. My dad's dead. uh, they were like, Dad, you can't grow oranges. Stop trying to grow oranges. Stop. They don't taste great. And then he was like, well, F you. My grandchild likes them. So screw you and your opinion. And it was great. I liked the oranges. I thought they were cool. Anyway, that's the whole house. That was it. That's enough of my ramblings for the day. So that's why the house looked very confusing in the game, because it's very confusing in real life. It was a really cool house. I miss it, like, a lot. I wish I had the house. I wish I did. But sadly I do not. I did not have the money to afford it, and everyone in my house, and everyone that could have gotten this house hated it, so they just decided to sell it. Which is really sad, because I will never see this house ever again. Except for in pictures, and in my memory, and in The Sims 4. Which is kind of sad, because I don't think I'm ever going to show my children this. But, that's life. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my house show. I know this isn't the most exciting house in the world, aesthetic-wise, but it really did look like this. Like, it looked like a square. It really did. It did not look like an ordinary house, and that's because it was built by my grandfather, so if you don't like how the outside looks, you can blame him. It looked 100% like this, like it was a square. There were no jutting sides, none of that. It was a square. It was a rectangle. Sorry, not a square. And it looked like this, pretty much. Like, I would say this is a 95% accurate model of the grandma's house. So, I hope you enjoyed. Bye.